Our next dish is going to be apples and spinach salad. Apples are a great thing for the fall. They store fairly well. One thing people kind of get discouraged by is because once you've cut them, they start to oxidize. So in this case, we're going to use them in the salad, and actually the dressing is going to have an acidity in here. We're going to use a lemon, and that's going to help keep it from oxidizing so it won't turn brown on us. So one thing you don't have to have is you don't have to have an apple core. You can just cut it without an apple core, and we'll get to that in just a moment. So to start with our lemon, when you're going to juice a lemon, you can just roll it on your cutting board, and what that does, it's going to kind of loosen up the inside, make it a little easier to juice. You can cut it in half, and then in this case we can just take out our seeds with the very tip of the knife so we don't have to worry about getting seeds in our dressing. If you get a little pulp in your dressing's fine. That's actually a little bit more texture. So just try to look very close and see if you can see any seeds and take them out with the tip of your knife. I think that's the last one there. So we can squeeze a little bit of juice with the bowl, about a tablespoon. And then if we do have one seed get through, we can just take that out with the knife. And then we're going to whisk in some honey. So our honey is going to be the balance for that acidity. So there's actually no oil in this salad dressing. A lot of salad dressings, if you were to see them made, you'd actually realize they're not that healthy. There's quite a bit of oil in most salad dressings, especially emulsified ones like ranch, where actually there's a lot of oil suspended within there. So in this case, we can go ahead and put our apples directly in there and mix that with the dressing to keep them from oxidizing. So what we can do is we can cut our apple in half, put it down, then cut it into quarters. And then the inside core, we just take out with a knife there. Get those all ready. Now they have a nice flat part. We can actually set them on to slice them all the way, the rest of the way. So here, same thing, we're going to be using the claw and slicing through the apple. Once you have that ready, we can toss it into the lemon juice and honey and come back for the rest. Now, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to do the spinach first. If you have the spinach set in there first, the acidity will actually start to wilt the spinach. So that's going to be one of the last things we add in there. And depending on who's eating it, you can add in feta cheese. If you like feta, you could use goat cheese. You can add in some nuts. You could definitely add in some dried raisins or cranberries as well. Would be great with this dish. So we can get rid of our whisk at this time and just get a spoon. Right now we just want to do a light cover just so we can keep from oxidizing and turning brown while we work on our spinach. All right. So with our spinach, we can just take off those stems, place all the spinach into a bowl. And then really we can toss the apples and the dressing over the spinach. Make sure we get all of it in there. And in this case, we're just going to add some feta at the end. You could add some toasted almonds. You could add some walnuts. The feta is kind of a tangy, has a tanginess. It's going to balance really well with the sweetness of the apples and all that, also the sweetness of the honey. So a very healthy dish for you. Very little fat. Really just have a little bit of fat from that feta. So apples with spinach with a little bit of feta.